Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel, back with the Wandering Mariner. So I'm going to do a three-part series and kind of talk a little bit about just getting started in the merchant marine field. And a lot of people are like, okay, this sounds really cool, but where do I start? How do I go about doing it? And this is going to be the first one in three quick videos that I want to talk a little bit about, like the hurdles that kind of go along with getting into the merchant marine. And if you've been on my channel a little while, or you've been seeking a career in the merchant marine, you're kind of starting to find out that it's not necessarily super easy to like just boom, boom, boom. As many gig tubers or YouTubers are out there saying, oh, you just do this, this, and this, and you're in. So what are the this, and this? So they'll tell you that you need to get one, your TWIC card, which is your Transportation Work Identification Card, which is more or less a background check on you to make sure that you are not a threat to the maritime shipping industry. You can pass a background check, don't have a criminal record, and so forth. Next is getting a passport. You need a passport so that you could travel internationally. Now, is it absolutely required? No, you can get into the merchant marine and sail on ships in the Great Lakes, and hopefully those ships won't go to Canada or other countries. So yes, you don't have to have a passport, but I think it's one of the boxes you definitely want to check along the way. And next is getting your merchant marine credentials. And to get your credentials, you have to send in that TWIC card. You have to pass a medical exam. You have to do a drug test. And then you submit this all to the U.S. Coast Guard, and the U.S. Coast Guard will give you your merchant marine credentials as an entry-level position, be it steward utility, a wiper, or an ordinary seaman. Now, that alone is what you need to technically become a merchant mariner. However, there are certain things that you kind of need to get into certain positions. And one of them is BST, which is basic safety training. And in that, they go through like firefighting, water survival, like different aspects. And I got other videos on it that you can kind of find out a little bit more about BST. And you have to do security awareness training as well. So a lot of that is just understanding threats, and that all kind of came after 9/11 and whatnot there. But so you get that TWIC, you get your passport, you get your merchant marine credentials, and you're like, hey, I'm ready to go to work. Well, that basic safety training and security awareness, you'll need that training if you're going to go out of your own pocket. So there are ways that you can get into the merchant marine field where that training, that BST and security awareness, that gets paid for. And you can go into, one is going into the union, like Seafarers International Union, and you go to Piney Point Training, you apply for their apprenticeship training program. And this is a great avenue to get your training paid for and kind of get in and get some work experience. Another avenue is like Military Sea Lift Command. Now, the dilemma with Military Sea Lift Command and SIU is Military Sea Lift Command obviously has open seasons when they're hiring those entry-level positions. And as they open and close, people sometimes don't get called up right away because they're controlling the amount of employees. It's not an unlimited need of entry-level positions. So what they do is, as they have attrition in the company, people leave, they need to hire new people, or people get promoted up the ranks, then they need to open the gates again. And the same thing kind of goes down with Seafarers International Union. They are a union, and they are controlling how many people get into the field. Now, there's a lot of frustration from people when those programs close up or they're booked up for a long period. And the reason why is the maritime industry in America is able to pay a lot better than other aspects around the world in the maritime industry for two reasons. One is the Jones Act, which kind of protects the merchant mariner here in America. And I got other videos that talk about the Jones Act. Or another aspect is the supply and demand. These unions, the union and Military Sea Lift Command, are controlling the need. If they opened it up to everybody and they just said, Everybody wants to be a merchant mariner. Go ahead, boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, we had this overwhelming supply of people in their pipelines that would drive down the costs and drive down the income, just because there would be more people than they need. And if you're a problem, just go away. I don't care. We're going to pay this much. And if you don't like it, too bad, because there's 1,000 other people waiting to take your job. So the idea that SIU and Military Sealift kind of control lever how many people get into the maritime industry at certain times is important, and it's a good thing. Now, if you're looking to get in, you're kind of like, well, that sucks, because now I have to go out of pocket to pay for that basic safety training and that security awareness that I can get hired on different boats. And that is a challenge when you're starting out. It's the same way that if you went through college and you got a college degree and you start applying for jobs and you get into this awareness that, hey, yes, I have a college degree, but they want work experience. And how can I get work experience if I've never had a job and I'm just got this degree? And the same thing kind of happens with your merchant marine credentials when you first start out. You get that BST and the security awareness, and you have your endorsements for ordinary seamen, and you're like, I'm ready to go to work. And then you kind of face that how to find a job challenge. And that is a big hurdle when you first start out, because you have to kind of take on different positions that maybe are seasonal or temporary. And you're looking for like, hey, I need work. And you kind of got to eat some lower paying jobs to get that sea time, to kind of get everything going and meet other people and find other mariners and network with companies. Because once you're a proven employee, those companies are obviously going to want to keep bringing you back. So it's a rough road to start out at. But I just wanted to kind of do this video this morning, kind of just to start with that. My next video is going to be about once you get hired as an ordinary seaman and you start working, like, what are your goals? And your goals should be upward mobility. And I want to talk a little bit more about that. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and we will hit you on the next one. Peace.